Right, so 2012 was a very big year for movie releases. We had some huge films out this year. I did manage to see a lot of them at the cinema, and I thought it would be a good idea if I give you my kind of top 5 movies of the year and just give you my brief thoughts on them and everything like that. It won't be big reviews or anything because I've done a few reviews of these films a few months back when they were released. So yeah, I'll just give you my top 5. So number 5 is Skyfall. Now, before I saw Skyfall, the only ever James Bond that I had seen was Casino Royale. I'd never really been into James Bond. I'd never kind of had the urge to go and watch a James Bond film. I'd only ever seen glimpses of GoldenEye. And like I said, Casino Royale was the only James Bond film I fully watched. So I went into Skyfall expecting just a great action movie really, and I really enjoyed it. There's nothing I can fault about Skyfall really. It was really good, and it's kind of intrigued me to go and want to watch the other James Bond films, which is good because it gets me into another series and a new franchise of films that I could enjoy. So yeah, Skyfall was brilliant. I loved it. It was non-stop action from start to finish, a great storyline as well, and one that I'm definitely looking forward to the Blu-ray of. Okay, so number 4 is The Amazing Spider-Man. Now I know a lot of people, after they've had time to reflect on the film, they tend to say it wasn't very good. But I do disagree. I do think it was a great film, and I think that the only reason people are saying that that's not as good because they're comparing it to Tobey Maguire's trilogy. Now I know Tobey Maguire's trilogy wasn't perfect either, but when you've got 2 different versions of a Spider-Man, you're always going to keep comparing, and then you're always going to compare to the one that people know best. And obviously that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is more well known. So obviously Amazing Spider-Man has taken like a back seat, sort of. But I did like it. It was very true to the comics. It had a very good storyline. I do like the fact that we've got Killer Croc in there as the main enemy of the film, which is very good. They are continuing the films, which is good as well. I can't wait to kind of see where they take it. I know the next one's going to have Electro as the enemy, which is going to be great. And overall I enjoyed it. I think Andrew Garfield was a brilliant Peter Parker. He suits the role more than Tobey Maguire, but I do admit that it takes time to get used to the new Spider-Man outfit and the way he is and everything like that. But I overall enjoyed it, and definitely one of the best films of the year for me. So in at number 3 is The Dark Knight Rises. Now this is probably going to be a lot of people's number 1 because understandably it was very popular. The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, the whole Christopher Nolan Batman universe is very popular. And the reason it's not number 1 or 2 in my list is, well, one reason because I prefer 2 films more than this, but another reason is I think the film's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, it's a brilliant film. But I just don't think it lives up to The Dark Knight, just that little bit. And I'm not just saying that because of Heath Ledger. I do think I preferred the story of The Dark Knight compared to The Dark Knight Rises. But that's not a down point at all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not slating the film. I absolutely loved it and I cannot wait. I haven't got the Blu-ray yet. I'm going to hope to get that for Christmas. And I can't wait to watch it again. I love the whole Christopher Nolan universe. It was a brilliant film, as you expect from the Christopher Nolan Batmans. Brilliant action, brilliant storytelling, because that's what he does well. He doesn't just give you comic book action and violence. He gives you a story to tell, to follow, and he gives you characters to relate to, and that's what's brilliant as well. It's definitely the best we've ever seen Batman on the screen, and probably the best we will ever see Batman on the big screen. And yeah, it was a brilliant end to a fantastic trilogy. So yeah, Dark Knight Rises, fantastic film, and I can't wait to watch that again. Number 2 is The Hobbit. Now, I'm not going to speak too much on this because I did a review literally a couple of days ago, so if you want to check that review out, just click the link and a little annotation I'll leave there. But in very briefly, I've loved the film. Fantastic to get back into Middle-earth because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. So yeah, Hobbit, go and check it out if you haven't already. It's definitely worth all the hype. My number 1 film of the year was The Avengers. I loved the Avengers. I can't get enough of it purely because I'm a huge Marvel fanboy. I've always preferred Marvel over DC. I've always loved the kind of build-up films like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, even the Incredible Hulk films, which aren't very popular. I enjoyed them. I just always seem to enjoy Marvel films. I can't ever fault them. I've always loved the heroes a bit more than DC. I don't really know why. I think maybe growing up with SpiderMan and stuff like that might be a reason, but I just can't get enough of the Avengers. I love the film. I can watch it multiple times without getting bored. I literally can't say too much more. I love the film. The main kind of aspect of why I like it is probably Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. He's a brilliant actor, and he's perfect for Tony Stark. And yeah, I'm thoroughly looking forward to the Avengers 2. So yeah, that was my number one, the Avengers. There's a couple of honourable mentions that could have got in the list, but obviously there was bigger films that overtook it. I think Wrath of the Titans was a very good film. I know that The Clash and Wrath of the Titans aren't very popular for this year, but I liked Wrath of the Titans. I liked that whole Greek mythology era. And I love just over-the-top action with battling gods. Who doesn't want to escape out of their boring everyday lives and go and watch that sort of film? It's brilliant to watch. And I've got them on Blu-ray as well, and it's even more fun to watch on your own when you're bored as well. Just stick it on. It's a great film, I think. Another one is Ted. I enjoyed Ted. It was a great comedy. It's probably the best comedy I've seen this year. I'm not a huge fan of that style comedy. I know it's very Family Guy orientated, that film, but not to take away anything, it was a very funny film. I don't know if I'll see it again soon. Hopefully I might get the Blu-ray soon, but again, I'm not too bothered. And The Woman in Black as well is a very underrated horror film this year, I thought, with Daniel Radcliffe in it. It's British as well, which I liked, the fact that it was British and toned it down. It wasn't like an American teen horror that you get nowadays. It was like an old-fashioned spooky story, ghost haunted house story, which was great, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I think the biggest disappointment of the year was Men in Black 3. Now, if you saw my video months and months ago, right at the beginning of the year, when I said my top 5 films that I'm looking forward to, Men in Black 3 was in there. And I think it disappointed me very much. The only highlight was Will Smith, because Will Smith is my favourite actor. Will Smith was fine in the film, he does a great job, but the whole film screams just like it's being milked. The series is being milked. It wasn't needed. I don't think Tommy Lee Jones really wanted to do the film, hence why he wasn't in it very much. And I think the whole film felt a bit rushed, and it doesn't feel like the same Men in Black as the first two. So yeah, I think Men in Black 3 was definitely my biggest disappointment of the year. So that's about it for my talk on the films of this year, my top 5 and my couple of other mentions. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below of what you thought about my list, and also write down what you think is the best film of this year. I'd love to read through those, and also it would be good if you write down your favourite film of the year and your biggest disappointment of the year. That'd be quite interesting to read. So I'll do a similar video to this with my favourite video games of the year very soon as well, so look out for that one. And that's about it for this video, so I will see you very soon with my next one. Thank you.